I don't want to ask a leading question, but how long have you been practicing as a pediatrician?
Oh my, it's about 32 or 33
So the
years.
point of that is experience pays off. You
Oh, it
have
does.
seen a lot of teenage girls, particularly,
Yeah.
right?
Thousands. And
Thousands.
and one of the things I love to see and answer questions of parents and kids who are really struggling with tough issues.
Give us
And
an example of that.
well, right now, I kids who are wanting to run away, kids who are on drugs, and they have two parents at home, and parents are beside themselves and they don't know what to do. One of the struggles we have now is around the gender issue.
Sure.
And the other thing, we have some Christian parents, and their daughter comes in at 16 or 17, and they find out she's sexually active. What do they do? So I have to deal with parents who feel very, very guilty, and then I have to deal with a daughter who feels guilty, and sort of reset them. So, and I love to talk to kids and teenagers about sex.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, no, it's
and,
healthy.
and and high school students, I mean, and parents say, well, they don't want to talk about that. Oh yes, they do. And it's really fun because God has given us a healthy path through just about everything. And when you bring that and path and you talk to kids or parents about that path, it feels so good, it feels so right, it's so healing. And you can see eyes light up. I see eyes light up in kids when I'm talking to them about why having sex with three partners when you're 17, 18, you're 20 can cause depression. The boys say, well, no one told me that. Is that why I feel so bad?
Yeah. We're here. I was wanting to ask these questions in a moment, but since we're here, let's go for it. Something like 40%, in your book, you state 40% of teen girls are sexually active. That is lower than half, which is good, but it's still an incredibly high number.
It is. And I will tell you, I think the reason they're sexually active is they get a lot of pressure from boys. And as we were talking before, girls who are nice and kind and conscientious don't want to say no because no one's taught them to say no. They also have a lot of pressure from the media. And everybody says
Oh, without a
media,
doubt.
but social
Peer
media,
pressure.
peer pressure. As a matter of fact, I routinely say to girls in my practice, high school girls, what are the two or three biggest trouble spots for you? What are the biggest pressures that you deal with? If you just could boil it down.
It's a good question.
And without skipping a beat, they say being thin enough and having sex. Always. And I said, well, tell me about that. Well, I'm just never thin enough. Okay, so I always have to diet. And they get that message from third grade on.
Wow.
And remember, as we talked last time about am I significant? Do I have value? One of the ways they can feel significant, even if it's superficial, is to act sexually attractive and sexually open, even if they don't want it. And I think the other reason girls are sexually active is they don't feel they have a good reason not to be.
Yeah. What is that reason? For that mom, particularly, who's going to have that discussion with a 15-year-old girl in their Christian home.
Okay.
What's that answer when
Oh,
that mom has to deliver?
easy, easy, easy. I've delivered it a million times to girls I don't know. First of all, God made you to respect and love and protect yourself. God made you so beautiful. You're the temple. You're a temple. The Holy Spirit lives in you. And the next reason is that you were created to be strong and to say no to people and to not accept things before you want them. We know we have great studies to show that it leads to depression. We know that sexual activity in young girls
It's
and
going to be damaging.
damaging psychologically. You're going to feel worse about yourself. No, I won't, Mom. No, I won't, Mom. I'll be accepted. No, you don't. And then third, physiologically. And then I say to them, I pull out the zinger. Do you know why you got your Gardasil? Did your doctor ever tell you what you got your Gardasil? No. Well, I said, then we need to have that conversation.
And for those listening, Gardasil is...
It's a vaccine for HPV, human papillomavirus, which causes cervical cancer in girls, in young girls. So now I say to girls, diseases are such an issue among young kids, particularly young girls, because of your anatomy. We have to immunize you now against a sexually transmitted infection. That's serious. Sexual activity is so serious that we need to do that. So those are just a few of the big reasons. So you don't even have to say, which you certainly can, it's wrong to do. You can start with the medical stuff and then move into your body's too precious, and it's the temple of the Holy
Well, and
Spirit.
I so appreciate that. You know, when I'm trying to teach my boys, I don't have, again, the honor of raising girls, but trying to teach them that, you know, God's given you this wedding present. And he wants you to keep it wrapped, you know.
Exactly.
And he wants you to explore that when you get married with that woman he brings into your life for a lifetime. I've tried to continue to message that since they were little.
Here's exactly, and I find in many instances teen boys are more sensitive than teen girls. That's exactly
Interesting.
Yeah, exactly what I taught our son. And after he went off to college, a couple years into college, he and a friend of his called me with questions about why he should continue to stay abstinent. And I thought that is so cool. But here's what I tell girls, particularly boys. You know, God made your body to be sexually active from 15 to about 75 or 80. So that's a lot of years.
Yeah.
That's maybe 70 years. And the look over their faces is, are you kidding me? And I say, are your parents alive? Oh, that's horrible. And then I say, are your grandparents alive? And they want to rock out of the room. But I say, here's my point. If you want a great 40 years, you need to listen to what I'm going to tell you over the next 10 years.
Huh.
And if you really want great relationships with your wife for that long a period of time, then you need to pay attention to what you do the next 5 years.
Wow.
They get it.